Hi everyone, this is Drew Wisnant, one of the Alabama program delivery partners for First Lego League, and today we're going to talk about the first batch of challenge updates. So I've got the document pulled up right here, and we're just going to address what's in this document, make sure that everybody's on the same page, make sure we don't miss anything. So update 1 is talking about gracious professionalism for no-shows. Now before we talked about how during a match, your team starts off with 3 gracious professionalism points each match, and the referees can bump you down to a 2 or up to a 4 or leave you at 3 depending on kind of what they see at the table from your team in terms of gracious professionalism. This is talking about what happens if a team does not attend their match and does not let us know at the event that they are missing and why they are missing. So this is the no-show rule, and it is if you are a no-show for a match, instead of getting 2, 3, or 4 GP points, you actually get 0, which will hurt your average in gracious professionalism points for that one match. You still have your other matches, but for one of those matches it would count as a 0. And that's just because the team not showing up is going to cause problems for the other team who has to be running on their table because there is that one shared mission. And it's just a good courtesy to kind of keep everybody informed with, hey, what's happening, what's going on. Communication is a very important skill to have with the other teams at the event and with the event staff. Now, this does say letting the referee or event official know, which means that if your team can inform the staff, hey, we're going to miss our match with enough time, so we say here before or shortly after the match's scheduled time, would be sufficient to get your 3 points. So if you have to miss your match for any reason, just let the staff know at that event so you can keep your 3 gracious professionalism points. So very important, very easy to do, and we're just asking that we do that. Update 2 is talking about the LEGO Education Spike Essential. Now in First LEGO League Challenge, we use the LEGO Spike Prime as our primary block now, but LEGO recently announced the new LEGO Spike Essential. That's the new technology, the new tool for First LEGO League Explore teams. Those are your teams of students ages 6 to 10. And this is just saying that you are allowed to use motors and sensors from that kit, even though they may not be from the Spike Prime kit. This is not saying you can use the Spike Essential brick. It is saying you can use the Spike Essential motors and sensors. So if for some reason you have an Explore team, or if you just buy a Spike Essentials kit, you can use the motors and sensors from that kit in your challenge robot. That's perfectly okay. This is a team update because the rules were written before the Spike Essential was out and available to the public. Update 3 is about the hinged container content pieces, and I think we talked about this when we went over the mission, but just as a reminder, in bag 3, you'll notice there are actually 2 sets of the bricks. There's 4 of the orange bricks, 6 of the green, and 2 of the blue. Only one of those sets, so either the left set or the right set here, will actually be used on the table. The other is just an identical set of replacement parts in case you lose some. So right here we see replacement. So only one set will be on the table. You only have to fit one set in the box. I do not think it is physically possible to fit both sets in the box. Update RO4, we have Rule 15 interruption clarification. And I'm just going to look through my notes real quick and pull up my robot rules to make sure I'm not missing anything. But here it says that the clarification is for R15, and R15, as we saw in an earlier video, defines interruption. And the first bullet says you can interrupt the robot at any time for any reason, but be sure to study rules 16 and 19. However, rule 19 is about stranded cargo. This says that we should reference rule 18, which is interruption with cargo. So all this is saying is that rule 15 references Rule 16 and 19, but it should reference Rules 16 and 18. So go back and double check that. Mission 5, we have the airdrop scoring clarification. So I'm going back up through the rules to double check this. And we see that when both teams have separated their food packages from the field's helicopter, both teams will earn 10 points. These points are additional to any points scored in this mission. So if I'm looking at Mission 8, airdrop, let's pull that up. So we say if the food package is separated from your helicopter, 20 points. If the food package is separated from the other field's helicopter and is completely in your circle, is 10 points. And bullet point 3 currently said if both teams have separated their food packages from their field's helicopters, 10. And now we're saying that if both teams have separated their food packages from their field's helicopters, 10 added. So that is the bonus point. So there's not much that should change, and this is how we treated it, and we looked at the rule a little bit more closely in the videos, but this is clarifying that. Update 6 is about Rule 19. I'm going to scroll back to that on my document so I can reference it. And it's talking about the stranded cargo update. Now, in Rule 19, the wording has changed and provides teams with more options when former cargo rests partly in home. So there is new wording here, and so make sure you go by this wording, not the wording you'll find in your robot game rules. So if the cargo is completely outside home, if the cargo is dropped or left completely outside of home, you wait for it to come to rest. If it rests completely outside of home, it stays there unless the robot brings it back. Partly in home, teams may remove former cargo that rests partly in home by hand at any time. If an object removed was a mission model, it must be given to the referee for the remainder of the match. If the object was equipment, it must be taken into home and the team will lose 1 precision token. So this is going to clear up the wording a little bit. Completely outside of home, if it falls out, it just stays there no matter what, and you can't get it back unless the robot brings it back. For partly in home, it says that if it was a mission model, you can pick it up. So let's see, you may remove it. So it doesn't say you have to remove it, it says you may remove it. But if you do remove it and it is a mission model, you have to give it to the referee for the rest of the match. You can't get it back. If it was equipment, it must be taken into home, and the team will lose 1 precision token. So that's Rule 19's updated wording. And finally, we have the home delivery mission, Mission 11, and this is one example that I did not. I tried very specifically not to cover in the original mission video because I thought it was unclear, and I was waiting on FIRST to release an update for this. So you can see that when the package is resting on the doorstep and on the mat, it's worth 20 points. When it's completely on the doorstep, it's 30 points. But when it is only supported by the doormat but hanging over the edge, they are counting that as a partial delivery, not a full delivery. So I avoided this case in the video because I thought they were going to release an update about this, and I'm glad they did. But that is what's happening here, is that if the package is on the overhang like this, it is not fully on the doorstep, even if it's not touching the mat. So that is going to cover all 7 of the challenge updates from August 17th. That was released on the same day as the challenge. And hopefully this will be the biggest batch of updates we see for the rest of the season. We might see, updates with maybe 1 or 2 in them over the coming months. But hopefully this is our biggest batch and we won't see too many more after this. But I'm going to try to do videos like this anytime we get challenge updates. So make sure you're keeping up with your challenge updates and how they affect your robot game strategy. And we will hopefully see you in an event later this year.